Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. For this one, we're servicing the Mark II C1, and for that, it's over to Liz.
Okay, so the tools you actually are going to need are set tools, some ramps for elevating the car so you can get access to the plug to change the oil, something to lie on, we've got an air filter, oil filter and cabin filter, some brake and clutch cleaner to clean any messes up. You've got some engine flush is optional should you wish to use it, spark plugs and then some oil. Okay, so get yourself in a really awkward position in your passenger footwell, and then you'll see just here is where the cabin filter housing is. So there's two clips, you literally just press in, pull and out it comes. And then if we just then pull this out, so that's fine. So that is my cabin filter, my old one. And then just get my lovely assistant to pass me the new one. And then we just put the new one in like so. And then we lose where we actually put the clip because we're idiot. And then we just fit that back in like so. Done. Okay, so just for a bit of an interest piece why it's always worth changing your cabin filter, look at all that absolute horrible crap that is all in there. It's disgusting. There's little bits of leaves, bits of seeds, dust, and that I'm surprised. I did hit a pigeon once with this car, so I'm surprised there isn't bits of pigeon in there, if I'm completely honest with you. There's even cat fluff in there and everything. It's absolutely disgusting, so that's why you change your cabin filter, people. Okay, so next we're going to do the air filter. So there is 5 screws on this. There's one at the front, one on this side, one towards the back, and then another one here. And a further one here. Okay, so let's get that off. It should just lift off. Okay, so now I've got the air filter cover off. This should be a simple case of this disgusting thing out, and then 1-for-1 swap, done. Okay, so that is the filter now out, and as you can see it is absolutely disgusting. It is obviously full of crap again, and it's just, to be honest, quite grimy and quite horrible. It is a bit fiddly just to get the actual air filter cover off, but once it's off it's relatively easy. As I said, 1-for-1 swap, and then it's just basically the reverse of dismantle, isn't it? Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention when you're taking the cover housing off is there's a nut and washer that is actually held together here, about 10mm. That you'll just obviously need to undo. There's also what seems to be some little hose of some description that's attached to this bit here that you want to take off. This seems really difficult to get off, but a bit of brute force and just yanking and it does come off. Just remember to undo this beforehand, so obviously you're not basically fighting a losing battle there. But once it's off, as I said, it's a really easy job to put it all back together. Okay, so next up is doing the spark plugs. So these have a gap setting of 1.1mm, so which is the requirement for this. To actually undo the spark plugs and get them out, there are some electrical clips that you're going to want to undo and remove, and then there's also a little bolt here, and the rest should just pull out quite easily. So we'll give that a go. So to undo these, because it can be a bit tricky, you just want to push these up, these little orange pieces, and then there's a little black piece here which you just want to lift, and then it should just slide off as so quite easily, and we'll just get these undone. Okay, now as I said, this should lift up like so. Easy. Okay, so because the coil packs are really deep, you're going to need a deep reach 16mm spark plug socket to remove these. Okay, so that is, as I said, the spark plug out. You can see there's a tiny bit of oil just on the thread there, nothing too concerning now. The electrode is still relatively white, and to be honest it looks in relatively still good condition. So it probably could have stayed in, but just for continuity we just thought we'd change them anyway while we're here. Okay, so to put the new one in, so obviously take out the packaging, like so, and we get our little spark plug socket, and we just pop that in there, and then just drop it back into the hole, hand turn it as much as you can. It's a bit of a lengthy process, so you know, think about life and world problems and okay. Okay, so that will do now. And just take that out, and that's all back in. So again, to just reassemble all this, is we just pop this back in, give it a bit of a push, and then again just clip these back in. There we go. Push these back down, and then just put the back in. Okay, and that's all done. Okay, so next up is the oil change. So we're going to be using some STP engine flush. What this does is it just removes harmful sludge and deposits from the engine. We're just going to put this into the oil fill cap just here, and then obviously just let the engine run for 15 minutes till I get up to temperature. This does its magic, works for the engine. It also makes the oil a lot easier to drop when we come to that stage. Okay, so what we're going to do next is drain the oil. So need a T50 to start draining. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to refit the sump plug. So we're just going to clean the area with some brake cleaner that is currently just falling over. Get it all clean as possible. Okay, so next up is removing the actual oil filter, which of course has to be mega tricky. Okay, so that is the oil filter now out. As you can see, it's a pretty messy job. I've just put it upside down to let all that oil drain out. So what I'm going to do is obviously just clean up the area off just a little bit and put the new one in. Okay, so the next job is to change the oil filter. So what we're going to do is take it out of the box. We're going to get some nice shiny new oil. I'm going to stick our finger in there. Yeah, finger full of nice new oil, and we're going to just do a nice run round all around the seal there. What that does is that actually helps it get a better seal when you're actually putting it back on the car. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to fill the inside of this with new fresh oil. The reason for that is it makes working out your oil levels later on a hell of a lot easier. Okay, so just as said, gonna clean the area. Try not to get a face full of oil. Okay, so that's all now clean. So I'm just going to put the new oil filter on. Okay, so that is now all tight and back on. Okay, so what we're going to do next is now fill the oil with some 530 oil. Going to fill to about 3 litres roughly, check the oil level and then just top up as necessary from there. So let's go with it. Okay, so that's roughly for 3 litres now. So we'll check the dipstick. And see, that's probably at a really good oil level. So I would say I'm quite happy that I don't really need to fill that any further. But we'll see. Pop it back in. And we'll just pop the filler cap back on. And that is now all done.
So, that's quick and easy service on that one. Yeah, I stayed clean for a change. It's all good. If you did like that one, then you know what to do. Ring the bell and that will notify you for any future videos that drop. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Remember to follow me on Instagram at the bottom here. That's where you get all the sneak peeks and things like that during the week for videos that are coming up. The rest of the series for the Mark II C1 is over here, and I'll see you in the next one.